Village Green English.
Discuss the home. I'm excited for our discussion today because today we're talking about interior design. So, Nathan, have you ever decorated your home? If so, what did you change?
So I think, like many people, I've decorated my bedroom many times, putting up posters at various points and taking them down when things had gone out of fashion.
Mhm.
And then near to exams, putting up a lot of notes and revision materials. I remember for one history exam, I ran like a timeline all around my room,
Nice.
and it was like modern history of like since the end of the Second World War. But yeah, generally as I've gotten older, I've preferred to have a cleaner space, and just things to be a bit more functional. But yeah, nice objects here and there doesn't hurt either. Tom, what is the favorite room in your house and why?
Well, I'm a big fan of cooking, so I do like the kitchen, but I'd have to say my bedroom because it's kind of the space where I sort of keep all my things. Not that I'm a particularly materialistic person, but I've actually been recently doing a lot of decorating in my room. Maybe not decorating per se, but moving furniture around and putting things on the walls. So you might be able to see behind me, there's a few things on the floor which need to go on the walls, which are on their way up. I'm actually waiting for a couple of prints to be delivered. I've got a couple of empty frames in here. So it's a work in progress. But yeah, definitely my bedroom. It feels like a little box of me, of my belongings, my things. So yeah. Nathan, if you could change one thing about your home, what would it be?
I think a lot of people would also have the same idea as me, but I would install a swimming pool somewhere.
Nice.
I actually, when I was very, very young, we did have a swimming pool as part of the home. But yeah, it's just super convenient. Like, again, like if you have a quick break, and I guess now people working from home, you can just have a dip in the pool, and it's very good for your physical well-being. So yeah, for me, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, I don't think I need a pizza oven or a solarium or anything like that. A pool would be nice. And Tom, what makes a house into a home?
This is a great question, because there's a big difference between a house and a home. Um, it's a difficult one to answer as well, and I actually think it's different for different people. Um, I mean, whenever I think of the word home, I remember my first home that I grew up in, that I lived in with my parents and my brothers until I was 8, and that was kind of, in a way, the last house that really felt like a home to me. But I think it's perhaps what you make it. For example, if you live somewhere, you feel comfortable there, and you feel like you can make it yours. You can start to change it and to become almost a part of your house, in that you feel like you're in there, and if you were to leave, your presence would have been felt in the home. You've really made it your own. I think that's possibly a good way to distinguish a house and a home. I guess the other thing is the other people in it. If you have a family home and you live with your loved ones, then that can turn just a building into a real home. Perhaps memories is a good answer. Your home is where your memories are. Your house is just where you happen to be. Maybe that's a good way of putting it. But I do think it's different for everyone. Okay, Nathan, what is your favorite piece of furniture or decoration in your home?
Mhm. Well, I must say I'm quite fond of my room divider that
Yeah.
I use now. It manages to, yeah, for one, separate this big room. It makes a nice backdrop for video calls. I picked one out that was a bit more expensive with some bamboo print, and I just like that idea. I think it's made out of bamboo. Uh, in reality, it's actually quite a flimsy object. I've actually had to use quite a bit of wood glue to put it back together, but I guess that's part of, making it more of a home object. It's been a bit pre-loved by me in a way,
Nice.
bit of wear and tear. But yeah, the great thing about it is that it has hinges and it folds up. So for me, it's very functional. After a call, I just fold it up and then I've got the whole space of the room again to do other activities like stretching or, having other people in, that kind of idea.
Awesome.
Tom, do you think each room in a house should be decorated the same or differently?
Again, another great question. I definitely think that there is some advantage or perhaps merit or some nice feeling or satisfaction to be got from a house where there's a theme throughout the home. Now, I've watched a lot of grand designs. I like grand designs, and you see a lot of houses in there where it's all one theme and the whole house feels homogenous. But I am personally more of a fan of each room being a bit different, especially when you have a house with a number of people living in it. You can really get a sense of personality in each different room. And I think that gives the house more character and definitely, for me, makes things a bit more interesting. And if you get tired of the decoration in one room, you can just go to another room. I mean, not that we live in mansions or anything, but I think it's nice. It's nice to personalize different rooms, do things a bit differently. If a room is south facing, it should reflect the light that comes in there and should be a bit different to a room that's on the other side of the house. And functionally, a kitchen should look different to your living room, and your bedroom should look different to someone else's bedroom. Okay, so Nathan, how can we make the best of small spaces, and how can we make them seem larger?
Yeah, so again, first thing I think of would be, to decorate everything very sparingly. In fact, actually to take more minimalist kind of mindset. To use a light palette, I guess, gives that idea of space. But yeah, I guess it's more in how you view the space itself. So yeah, I think it's going to be different for different people. Maybe some people want a lot of sentimentality and they want to put lots of decoration and personal objects, and that to them is the best way to use a small space. But again, to make it seem larger, I think I'm more in the line of being organized, using good storage options, keeping it functional. But again, that takes a lot of brain work too. So honestly, don't know the best way, but that would be my guess. Tom, would you like to design your own home from scratch?
I think you could probably already guess the answer to this one. But yes, I would. I would absolutely love to. I mentioned before I like watching grand designs. If you don't know, grand designs is a sort of home design program we have in the UK. Yeah, absolutely. It's been, I guess, a dream of mine for a long time to eventually live in a house which I have personally or with family, you know, designed myself. And to have that kind of personal touch is something that's very appealing to me. I try to be quite a creative person. I like being creative, and so having things personalized is something that's important to me. And I just think it would be extremely fun to design and then to go through the process of building and learning a lot, and having something tailor made to yourself and to your family. I think is a really cool thing to think of. I've definitely spent a lot of time, imagining how I would do it in my head. Maybe I've done a few drawings here and there when I get bored. Um, Obviously, I redesign it all the time, but I definitely think that's something I would like to do at some point down the line, for sure. So Nathan, do you like watching home improvement TV shows?
I mean, I'm just trying to think of some. First one that comes to my head is a British show called DIY SOS. I can picture the host. I think his name was Nick Knowles.
Sure.
But it's this idea that somebody in their house was quite, well, it just needed a big improvement. So they kind of got all these people together, and as a community, they sort of all pitched in to make this a better living space for the person. Generally, I guess I don't actually, or haven't seen them for a long time, these kind of shows. Maybe that's waiting for a Netflix reboot, this kind of show. I can think of another one, like a US show. I believe like they did the whole makeover when the occupant was like out, and it was kind of like a big surprise to the residents. But again, it was quite a philanthropic idea. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more entertained by the homes getting taken down, those kind of shows, to be honest. Okay, on to our final question. Tom, do you think it's better to pay a professional for home improvement or to do it yourself?
Yeah, good question. I think in most cases, I would say that it's better to at least try to do it yourself. I think there's a lot of satisfaction to be gained from doing things yourself. And that's not just in home improvement; that's in loads of things. Yeah, give it a go. Go on YouTube, find a video of how to do something, and try it. When it comes to things like electrics and plumbing, definitely get a professional. If it's structural things in your home, pay a professional. They know what they're doing. But small things, I think, people should be encouraged to give things a go, to do it yourself, because you get to learn a new skill, you get a sense of achievement, and you can do things the way you want them to be done. Those things are really important for me, and I think that people should at least give it a go. And if you can't do it, or you can't quite do it the way you want it to be done, then yeah, of course you can get a professional in, and also you could save some money in doing it. But what do you think, Nathan?
I'm going to disagree with you.
Nice.
I'm going to say generally it probably is better to pay a professional. And again, paying a professional, you can decide to stop paying the professional if you feel you can do it better once you learn more about it. But generally, for most people in the long run, it's probably going to save you more time and money to have someone who does that as their bread and butter and has seen not only your situation and your wants and needs, but that of many other clients. So I think, we have these professions for a reason, and they're not going to go out of fashion just because, I think there's a big skills gap between what people can do from a YouTube video versus somebody who's been in a trade for a long time. But again, like you said, it depends on the job. You agree with me? Yeah, plumbing, electronics, foundations, this kind of thing. Again, grand designs, your example. I think when it all comes together is kind of like the person already works in the construction industry. They already are an architect or this kind of thing, and they really know what they're what they're doing. Whereas it seems like you're more inexperienced people. This is when you get like all the, the 12-month delays.
For sure.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Get those blueprints to me on Monday.
If you would like to practice this and more discussion topics yourself, you can join our community of English learners. Head over to vgenglish.com to find out more.
We are English teachers Nathan and Thomas.
We offer private tuition, group classes, and discussions.
Go to our blog to find extra learning materials.
Village Green English.
Everyday British English.
British English every day.